Okay, I just have to do that again. Some reason it's not working as it used to do, but this will do. Hopefully, you're listening to me, and I'm on number three. I'm on part three. I said, of course, that I would look at what a piece of work is a man, which is not a soliloquy, but I think it's really important that we look at that. It's a little bit of prose further on in the play, and it is just, of course, very famous, and it shows you exactly how Hamlet feels about the world. It's more of his miserable, it's more of his miserable philosophy, but it's philosophy that is brilliant. Again, just to question, why is this play so known? Why is this play so loved? Why is it examined in such detail? Because of speeches like this. This is to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, and he says here, "I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame the earth seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, why, it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapours." And this philosophy that he's got here is bleak, as you like. I mean, of course, Shakespeare can't help sticking a little bit of reference to the globe, to the theatre. This majestical roof fretted with golden fire, the little canopy we understand over the stage had the stars. Had the firmament painted on it. So there's a reference there, this canopy, this o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof, is a reference to the theatre. Again, another bit of research that would be worth doing is looking at the way the theatres were made up. What did they look like? It's important you have an idea of that. The open air theatre with the stage, obviously the best thing to do would be go to the Globe in South London and in Southwark and see a play there, standing up in the pit. That's the best thing to do, really, if you're really interested in Shakespeare. But look at this, earth, the air, a foul and pestilent congregation of vapours. So his philosophy, his view of his jaundiced, dark view, bleak view of life, sees life not as something God-given, not as something that's wonderful and beautiful. And this is why he's so popular now. Still, so why Hamlet has been studied for so long and why loved for so long. He sees it just as a bunch of gases. And what about a human being? What a piece of work is a man? It's amazing. How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action how like an angel. Of course, they believed genuinely that human beings, that man, sorry to use the sexist term, was created in God's image. So like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. Apprehension, understanding. Beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? The body, the mortal frame, is merely dust, reminding us of dust to dust, ashes to ashes, which were words that were used for the funerals in those days, and that still are now. And also, of course, reminding us that it's going away. He's going away from the idea that we are God-given, and he has this extremely sort of miserable view of life, because for him, life is pretty rubbish. His father's been killed. His mother's betrayed him. She's gone and married the killer, he thinks. Okay? So, a wonderful piece of writing. A very bleak piece of writing, reminiscent, of course, of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow creeps in its petty pace from Macbeth. If you don't know that speech, go and look it up, because it's stunning. This is prose, that's verse. But they're saying the same thing, really. So this leads to the introduction of the players. He gets very excited about the players, and leads to what I have to say. I think it's the best one. Of course, everybody else wants to talk about To Be or Not to Be, and I will talk about To Be or Not to Be, but Rogue and Peasant Slave is first. So the actors arrive, and he asks the key player, the chief player, first player, to perform a little speech about the Greeks, and about the Trojan Wars. And we see that it's not an unimportant moment, because of course we've got the wife in there, we've got the troubled wife, and he loves it. But it raises major questions for him. And so here we have it. I so God be we. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage wand? Okay, so he's watched this player, this actor, give life to a fiction. Okay, but in a fiction, dream of passion. And what's happened? Everything's changed. Everything's changed. He's gone pale. His soul and his face, from her working all his visage wand. He went wan, he went pale. Tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, in his whole face, distracted. A broken voice, his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit. So the conceit, the pretense, the whole image that he was trying to produce, to express on the stage, he's become one with it. And all for nothing. For Hecuba. Now, of course, interesting that Hamlet focuses on the woman. Look at the verse. Forms to his conceit, caesura, question mark, and all for nothing, exclamation mark. For Hecuba, half line. Break, pause, as he mulls over that idea. What's Hecuba to him? Or he to Hecuba? He doesn't even know her. She's possibly fictional, but definitely historical character. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba? That he should weep for her, but he was weeping. There were tears coming from his eyes. What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears, and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. If he had my problem, if he was like me, if he was Hamlet, with a dead dad, a real dead dad, and a real live uncle who possibly killed him, and a real live mother who went and married him, what would he do then? He'd drown the stage with tears. Everybody would be deaf, cleave the general ear with horrid speech. The guilty would become mad. That's interesting, isn't it? Make mad the guilty. The play's the thing he comes to, and he thinks that if he shows the man who's possibly guilty at this point, Claudius, if he shows him, then he will become mad, make mad the guilty. You can see the seed of the idea growing already. And appall the free, confound the ignorant, amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. And I love this. Look at the break here, and so look at the way the speech moves. It's superb. He would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty, appall the free, confound the ignorant, amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy metalled rascal, peak like John a dreams, unpregnant of my cause. What do? Here's an actor with a fiction, and he can do all that. I've got all this reason, and what do? I just peak like John a dreams. So I'm just going to check on that. Sorry. No, I haven't got that. Okay, so dull. Who am I? I'm dull and muddy-mettled, grubby, sludgy, compared with the sharpness of this actor. John O'Dreams. No, I must have a note on John O'Dreams. John O'Dreams. Mope like a dreamer. Is that what you can say? Oh, okay. I'm pregnant of my cause. I'm pregnant of my cause. In other words, I should be filled. I should be pregnant. I should be filled with my cause. But no, I'm unpregnant. I'm empty of it. Say nothing. No. Look at all the negatives here. Lovely ends. Lovely alliteration. Nothing. No. Not for a king. Monosyllables. No, not for a king, upon whose property, and that's his father, of course, upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Most dear life, a damned defeat. Okay, look at the sounds. Stop. Another caesura. I love this. I remember seeing, my favourite performance of Hamlet was Roger Rees, way before any of you were born, back in the 80s. And he went mad at this point. Threw himself around the stage. Because the verse invites you to do this. The verse invites you as an actor to shout and scream and then to stop and go, it's a bit pointless, isn't it? What's that achieved? Nothing. Excuse me while I have a go at it. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard, blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie of the throat as deep as to the lungs. Who does me this? Soon's I could take it. For it cannot be but I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I should have fatted all the region kites with this slave's offal. Bloody, bawdy villain! Remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain! Oh, vengeance! Why? What an ass am I? This is most brave. So excuse me having a sort of go at acting, but so am I a coward? Right, if you think I'm a coward, challenge me. Challenge? Pluck your beard. That's a challenge. Okay, plucks off my beard, blows it in my face. Okay, you're a coward, mate. Tweaks me by the nose. Another challenge. Gives me the lie of the throat. You're a liar. You lie in your throat. We saw that in Romeo and Juliet, okay? As deep as to the lungs. So you're not just a liar, you're a really, really, really real liar. Bad liar. Good liar. Whichever. Who does me this? Who wants to challenge? It's like talking to the audience, of course. He's asking the audience, do you want to challenge? Do you want to tell me? Do you want to talk to me? What is it in with De Niro? Yeah, you talking to me? That was dreadful, sorry. Zoons. Zoons, of course, God's wounds. By God's wounds, it's a curse. It's an oath. I should take it because I am pigeon-livered. I am a coward. I lack gall. I lack poison. I lack fire. To make oppression bitter. Gall is a very bitter-tasting substance. Remember Lady Macbeth. Or ere this, before this, by this time, with the reasons that I've got, I should have fatted all the region kites with this slave's offal. I should have killed him, left him out for the birds to pluck at his innards. Slave's offal. Dirty. Reduced him to nothing. And so he tries to be the revenge hero. He tries to be the, this intelligent man that we know so well now. He's the thinking hero. Decides to try and play the revenger. Bloody, bawdy villain. Look at the alliteration there. Remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain. Throwing these words around. Vengeance! Another stop, another half line. And then, what an ass am I. That looked good, didn't it? Yeah, you like that? Audience? Did you like that? Did that look good? No, I looked stupid. This is most brave. Oh, yeah. That I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words and fall a cursing like a very drab. That's not how you do it. Not in Shakespeare's Hamlet. Shakespeare's Hamlet is a critique of the revenge tragedy. It's almost like holding a magnifying glass up to the revenge tragedy. The revenge tragedy, Spanish tragedy, is simple. You know, dad dead, I find out who his killer is, and I kill him. Sorted. Okay? But that's not Hamlet. He's not like a whore unpacking his heart with words and falling a cursing like a very drab, which is another word for a whore. I am the son of a dear father murdered, and I'm prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell. Remember I said in an earlier film, is the ghost true? Can we trust him? Is he from heaven? Is he from hell? But this isn't the way to go about it. Falling a cursing like a very drab. A scullion, another word for a whore. Pretty sexist language. Firepont, foe. About my brain. In other words, brain, get to work. Okay? I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck to the soul, that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions for murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. Brain, plan, plot, let's find out if this is really true. I need a confession. I need to know. I can't just kill him. I need to know whether it's true or not. And so let's have a play. He's going to write his little play for the players to put on. Murder will out. Murder, though it have no tongue, will speak. Murder will speak out with most miraculous organ, with great voice. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tempt him to the quick, pierce him. If he but blench, I know my course. He only has to go pale, and I'll know what I have to do. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and the devil have power to assume a pleasing shape. Was the ghost of my father a good spirit or a bad spirit? Okay, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. Maybe I'm being teased by this ghost in order, taking advantage of how sad I was in order to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative. Better grounds, better evidence, please. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. I need a play. I need to catch the conscience of a king. That speech, if you're interested in drama and you want a good audition speech, I think it's brilliant. It's got so many movements in it. It's got so many tones. It's intelligent. It goes crazy in the middle. And then it breaks down into intelligent thought at the end. I think it's a fantastic speech. Much better than To Be or Not to Be. Don't know why To Be or Not to Be is so famous, but we'll consider that in the next video. Thank you for watching.